back to another episode of Unveil the Real podcast. I'm your host, Scoobs, and today we're going to get into a few things, starting off with, being a parent. All right, being a parent can be stressful. It can be, for one, it's the biggest job of any person, period. But I'm just going to get into a few facts of why I think being a parent sucks sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't at the same time. So for one, I know every parent loves saying this, how kids don't understand and they don't see the sacrifices that us parents make. All right, so that's the first thing I want to get into. Between being a young parent or even a parent, at a more appropriate age when you're married and you have your business or careers. But regardless of any of that, when you're a first time parent, everything is brand new. Nothing is going to be the same as before. And you just have to learn to adapt. You have to learn how to care, protect, and provide for your kid. And that's just what a parent is at the end of the day. No matter how big of a professional, how big of a superstar, all the way to barely making ends meet. When you're a parent, it's just a job that never ends, and it is hands down the best job on earth because you have so many opportunities, to make mistakes, to make things right, to really just make sure your child is going to have the best future, and I'll also mention the also having a better future than what you had. Because at the end of the day, no matter how great your parents were, no matter how great even, your grandparents were, everyone's situation is different, especially when it comes to parenting. All right. When your child becomes a certain age, then they can also help, around the house and just pushing the shopping cart. Kids love doing that. And, even we're talking even as young as when your babies are able to walk, teach them how to, throw things in the trash can and, just pick up things off the ground, throw things in the trash. It can be a variety of things, but starting them off young with physical activities is something that I've always been a huge advocate of, and I just think that plays a very huge impact on being a parent. Just keeping kids active, with physical activities. Kids love doing things and they love helping their parents. So, the younger you start them off with, hey, the better off you are. So again, these are just a few facts I wanted to give you all as far as being parents, as far as those that are becoming future parents, and for those kids, young adults, young kids that are out there watching, please, respect your parents, love your parents. Everyone thinks their parents are boring or sometimes even crazy, but again, it's the sacrifices that we make for our future, aka our children. Comment some of the things that you love about being a parent, rather it's some mistakes you made and maybe you have kids in the future and now you can make things right because you learned from, buying the wrong diapers or just doing something you wasn't supposed to when you should have been, helping out, your wife, or you should have been helping out your husband. So just comment. Let me know what you guys think about this topic. And again, I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you. All right, well, in some more current news, we have Mr. Trump 2.0 back in office. So again, some people are mad, some people are very happy about the whole situation. I would like to know your guys' thoughts. I won't get into too many details, but again, as far as I'm concerned, Trump, please leave China alone You know what I'm saying? It's a lot going on already between them. I don't know if he's trying to continue where he left off at. You know what I'm saying? With when last time when he was in office, but again, bruh, please, man, come on. We're one nation, but hey, we can work with other nations. We don't need all of this. The next thing I want to get into is as far as for Trump, it's the tariffs. The tariffs. I just hope that Trump's plans for the tariffs is not going to affect, our inflation and things like that. But please comment your thoughts on this. Again, we got Trump 2.0 now in office, so I just think, there could definitely be some good outcomes to this. But at the same time, I mean, we really got to keep our eyes open, keep paying attention to what's going on. It definitely doesn't stop just because the campaign is over, because this is when it actually starts. This is when changes, as he likes to say, is really going to be made. So let's just keep our eyes open and keep spreading the word. We really got to help each other out in this. We're all one nation. At the end of the day, we all have to go to work. We all have to take care of our families, and we all have to protect one another as well. So, man, one love, and Trump, leave China alone, bro. So let's get into some more upcoming events, man. My birthday, I'm actually recording this the day before my birthday, but again, I just want to say happy birthday to me. The wife, man, she she loves saying how I just love life, and I always have this smile. I'm always just goofing around. Of course, who isn't serious at times, but I just love life. You know what I'm saying? Like I really do. So I just want to thank my mother, father, wife, family. I just want to thank everybody for all the support that you all have been giving me for 35 years. And again, I just want to continue to be the best father, the best husband, the best brother, son, everything. And, I just want to thank God as well. So, shout out to my twin brother as well. We're going to turn up this weekend a little bit. And again, man, I just wanted to highlight that as one of the best events of this year, period. But again, man, I just want to thank everyone for just such a blessing 2024, and, just many more years to come after this. So I do thank everyone for that. Please tune in, like, and subscribe. And again, we're going to keep this rolling, man. All right, now the next event that I want to get into, which is happening also this weekend, is the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. Man, this has to be, I don't even know, the fight of the century or something like that. Anybody tuning into this fight, they know it's going to be this Friday, November 15th. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. So, man, I know the seats. I know they were saying the seats are limited, and even the virtual seats were limited as well. So that is going to be a very interesting fight. Of course, hosted by Netflix. Which is where most of us are going to be watching it. It's going to be on Netflix again this Friday evening, November 15th, man. So tune in, y'all. Tune in. It's going to be. It should. I'm interested to see how this fight is going to go. I just watched the interview between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Of course, the person who was in between them, asking all the questions was Cameron. I thought that was pretty dope too as well. Shout out to It Is What It Is podcast. But again, Cameron, he did his thing. He behaved himself. He kept the language and everything to a minimum. But he actually did pretty good, man. Cameron's going to do a lot of things in the future for sports, period. But anyway, I'm just glad that they actually sat down. It was pretty good in between both of the fighters. Jake Paul, man, he just has a lot of confidence, which is great, which is fun and all, but a lot of confidence. You know what I'm saying? Again, Mike Tyson being 58 years old, obviously an age difference to Jake Paul's 27 years old. But again, man, I kind of jotted down some of these notes, but Mike Tyson's record, 50-6 with 44 KOs. Obviously, he's older than Jake Paul, but still, Jake Paul, he's still making a name for himself too. He's 10-1 with 7 KOs. So with him being a younger fighter, between, the footwork, moving, a little faster than Mike Tyson, that's going to be his advantage. He's going to have to keep moving. But again, it's not more so a normal fight as well either, because again, the fights, it's only going to be 8 rounds, and it's only 2-minute rounds as well. Instead of the as far as heavyweights is normally 10 to 12. No, I think it's normally 12 rounds, but again, they're only doing 8 rounds. So we can all understand that. Another fact about this fight as well, they will be wearing slightly larger gloves, right? That are actually 14 ounces, right? But the normal ounces for a heavyweight fight is 10 ounces. So again, that's a 4-ounce difference. Again, I know these are more safety precautions because, again, I mean, we all know Mike Tyson still packs a punch. If anybody's been paying attention to a lot of the training that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has been doing, Mike Tyson is still nobody you want to just be in front of, talking stuff to, or even just being in the ring with. So I still got Mike Tyson winning this fight. As far as the KO, we're just going to have to see. I'm sorry, I don't care. I would love to see him knock out Jake Paul, just for the simple fact that, I mean, hey, it's Mike Tyson, again, I've been on this earth about to be 35 years, so it's been quite a while since I've seen Mike Tyson fight. I was pretty young, but who would not love to see Mike Tyson just knock somebody out? I'm just going to keep it real. So, again, man, good luck to both of those gentlemen. I definitely got Mike Tyson. I'm sorry. I know Jake Paul has the speed, you know what I'm saying, and things like that, but it's probably only going to take one hit. And again, Mike Tyson understands that these gloves are they're a little fluffier, I guess you can call it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to matter. I mean, if you've been hit in the face, rather with the fist or with the boxing glove on, it's still going to hurt. It's still going to hurt. I don't like. Let's just be real about this. So again, good luck to both of those gentlemen, man. We'll see you all Friday. Anybody want to play some bets on that? Let me know. Comment who you think is going to win. Comment exactly. I know some of my guys out there are actually boxing fans, so I would like to know. Comment what you guys think is going to happen. Saying round for round, or do you think is this going to end in one round? Jake Paul get knocked out, whatever. Jake Paul, he's talking. He's really staying humble. I will give him that, but he's talking like he's gonna knock out Mike Tyson. And again, I mean, we can't just count that out, honestly, because at the end of the day, man, Jake Paul, he's younger. He's just gonna be moving. He's gonna be moving. So, but I can see it, man. Mike Tyson, he's just gonna ease his way in there. He's blocking those punches already, but his eyes are staying right. His eyes are staying right in between his eyes, and that's just gonna make the whole difference. All right, man. So shout out to Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Good luck to both of you guys. All right, so let's get into some of this Week 10 recap. The first game of the week, which was the Thursday night game, Bengals versus the Ravens. Man, that was a very good game. It started to be a nice little shootout. I'm just glad Lamar Jackson is able to still utilize that arm, man, and just prove to the world. You know what I'm saying? He can do it. You know, him saying he threw for 290 yards for 4 touchdowns. All right. I mean, he's going crazy, y'all. Looking at Derrick Henry, you know, he ran for 68 yards and 1 touchdown. Little lower than what he's been doing lately. But again, it just kind of speaks a little bit about that Bengals defense. I mean, we can't count them out. You know, they do have some issues, but at the end of the day, it's definitely been it was a great game. It really was. I mean, it came down to 1 point, right? But I will mention that as well. You know, that game, it should have been tied up. It should have went to overtime. But the Bengals head coach, Zach Taylor, man, he really trusts Joe Burrow. He really wanted him to, you know, just end the game right there. You know, I think he probably had a flashback of that Chiefs versus Buccaneers game. As soon as Baker Mayfield seen that the Chiefs won and they're getting the ball first, man, Baker Mayfield knew it was game. He knew it was game over, man. But again, big ups to Zach Taylor, man, the head coach for the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? He really tried to just have faith and trust in that offense and the Burrow to just, you know, end the game right there with a 2-point conversion. So again, that is the reason why the Ravens won by 1 point, because instead of them kicking the field goal and just tying the game up going to overtime, no, he wanted to just end the game right there. But again, it did end right there because Burrow threw an incomplete pass on a 2-point conversion, which ended the game. It really was a hell of a game. But again, you got to give it to Lamar Jackson. He's still doing numbers. And again, if he keeps on this path right now, he's definitely going to win the MVP this year. All right, so let's get into this Patriots and Bears game. I honestly didn't even want to even talk about this game, but I figured let's just talk about it a little bit since the first round draft pick, Caleb Williams, he's always going to be the topic right now for the season just because he's the first round overall pick. But man, I mean, Bears did horrible. You know, let's just call it what it is. They allowed, I believe, 9 sacks. You know, Caleb Williams, man, he only threw for 120 yards. It was just a horrible game. I'm not for sure. You know, I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct, the offensive coordinator just got fired or, you know, released, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, I think they're just trying to figure it out. And again, with him being a rookie, you know, he's still going to do good. But, I mean, between that offensive line, you know, the Bears defense is actually not bad at all. But, you know, I mean, what can you do when your defense is on the field so much? You know what I'm saying? They split the times pretty good, you know, between both offenses, but it was just ridiculous, man. I mean, when you allow 9 sacks in one game, and honestly, the Patriots is not doing that good as well. So this just really speaks a lot of what's going on with the Bears. So yes, they got rid of that OC. So we'll see how they move forward, you know what I'm saying, for the remainder of the year. But yeah, this game was pretty boring. I just want to highlight, you know, that talking about the first round overall pick, Caleb Williams. He got to do better, man. I mean, you got DJ Moore walking off the field. You got Swift should have been going crazy. You know what I'm saying? He only got 59 yards rushing. Swift only got one you know, reception for 6 yards. I mean, it was just a bad game. It was just a bad game. Again, Patriots defense is looking pretty decent, but again, versus this offense, you really can't even count that. So, you know, whatever. All right, so moving on to this 49ers and Buccaneers game. I thought this was going to be a pretty good game. Really just depending on how Baker Mayfield plays, because again, their record is 4-6, so it's pretty bad, man. But again, I know Baker Mayfield is down a couple key weapons, that Mike Evans and a few other wide receivers as well, man. But I don't know, man. I knew this game was just going to come down to how Baker Mayfield played, and he actually still played pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But no, nope, nope, not really. Like I said, he threw for 116 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, I think the only quarterback that could probably done something like that and still win is like Patrick Mahomes. But anyway, man, I will say that that running back Bucky Irvin, man, I really like him. I should have picked him up in fantasy football, man. But 13 carries for 73 yards and 1 touchdown. But again, if anybody watched that game, he was going off. He was going crazy. So I'll give him that him being a rookie or whatever. But again, I know this was a very good game to highlight for a lot of people because again, this was McCaffrey's first game back. Um, and let's just see. McCaffrey had 13 carries for 39 yards, no touchdowns. Which I mean, even me personally, being a football fan, I'm not surprised from that. I just know McCaffrey is just going to get back in the rhythm. You don't want to injure yourself. You don't want to over stress anything. But I just think him getting back in that rhythm is gonna do numbers. I do like how Debo Samuel's, if anybody's seen, he kind of pushed that deep snapper on the sideline, just because again, I mean, I believe their field goal kicker missed quite a bit. Kicker Moody, he kicked 3 for 6. You know what I'm saying? So, but luckily he made the winning field goal, so he made the ones that really counted. You know what I'm saying? But again, it might have took Debo to get on some of his players. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I love that type of leadership. That is what you have to do as a captain on a team, especially full of professionals. Again, I have the 49ers as a prediction to go back to the Super Bowl versus the Chiefs. If anybody watched the 50-60 show, which is also on YouTube, me and Coach Rosie, we go back and forth about that. He has the Lions and the Chiefs. I have the 49ers and the Chiefs. So again, with McCaffrey getting back in the mix, we are going to see how this future goes for the 49ers. We got really like another half of football to play, you know what I'm saying? As long as they stay healthy, get to the playoffs, and we might see them again. So I just want to highlight that as well. All right, so moving on, man, to the Bills and Colts game. All right, I will give it to Flacco, man. He was trying to do his thing, stepping in for the rookie. Man, he threw 3 interceptions to the Bills. Definitely had the Bills defense looking very, very good, man. But Bills won 30-20. It was a pretty good game. I will give them that. But again, man, Josh Allen threw for 280 yards, no touchdowns. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions though, but we all know how Josh Allen is. And I'm looking at this right now. Oh shoot. I am looking at this right now, and yes, he did rush 1 touchdown. It is in as far as James Cook too. But again, man, pretty good game overall. It just seems like their defense just took over the game, scoring on defense as well. But I'll get into my top 10 rankings right now as far as NFL teams. But like I said, man, Bills are doing their thing, man. I feel like they're just slowly just climbing to the top. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they're number one in their division, but with them playing the way they are, I just know they're going to be a problem. It's going to be interesting though because again they do play the Chiefs this coming week, and so this is going to speak a lot about the Chiefs, but it obviously speak a lot about the Bills as well. The Bills they've lost a couple ugly games. They only lost twice. They're 8-2 right now, but the 2 games that they lost were actually they were pretty silly games, man. So big ups to the Bills, but man, we're gonna see how they play this weekend. All right, so moving on, man. I think a lot of people were very interested in this game considering how good the Commanders have been playing. But again, you got Russell Wilson. He was on a two game winning streak, and a lot of people wanted to see how Russell Wilson was going to respond to this game. And again, he responded with the dub. They won by 1 point, 28-27. Man, he threw for 195 yards and 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception. But again, if anyone knows how Russell Wilson throws that ball, that nice spiral ball that just, I feel like it just hangs out in the air like a Hail Mary, man. But he found Pickens in the end zone. He found Mike Williams too. Mike Williams with the touchdown catch on a play that he didn't even know about. You know what I'm saying? Someone had to tell him that right before the play even, started. But again, man, big ups to Russell Wilson, with the dub versus the Commanders. Because again, the Commanders, they've been in charge. They've really been trying to make a statement with this rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels, man. I'll highlight Jaden Daniels too, though. He only threw 202 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions as well, though, either. So, Eckler had to handle his business with getting 2 touchdowns on the ground with McNichols as well. So, again, man, big ups to Jaden Daniels, man. Rookie quarterback. He's going far already as a rookie. So, I mean, he's definitely the future. Everyone is saying this already. They're calling him little Lamar, and they're saying he's going to be way better than Lamar already, between his arm and his legs. So big ups to Jaden Daniels, though, man. That was a hell of a game. Only losing by 1 point, but hey, a dub's a dub. Russell Wilson did his thing, man. I was a little disappointed in this next game, the Vikings versus the Jaguars. But again, big ups to the Jaguars defense, man. Yes, the Jaguars lost, but again, the final score was 12-7. I mean, it was just a weird, close game. I really expected more from the Vikings. I think everyone, expected a lot more from the Vikings. Sam Darnold, he threw 241 yards, 3 interceptions, no touchdown. He did not. They literally won off of 4 field goals. 4 field goals because the final score was 12-7. So, they really kind of dropped down on my power rankings because I'm not for sure what's going on with the Vikings all of a sudden. They're just not looking too good, and I can't keep you I can't even keep you in my top 10 if you're just not gonna, produce and get better each and every week. They were consistently getting better each week. You could tell Justin Jefferson and whoever, Addison, you could tell everyone, Sam Darnold, Aaron Jones. I mean, everyone was just having fun, blowing out blowing out quite a few teams. So I'm not for sure what's going on in the chemistry in that locker room, but they got to figure it out to get back in my top 10 because it's not even looking too good for the playoffs for them. So they got to get it together. All right, so moving on, man. I was very impressed. I actually have been very impressed with Kyler Murray. Between him and Marvin Harris Jr., that dynamic duo right there is already great, but Kyler Murray is just showing off, and he's really showing people like, okay, don't forget about me. You know what I'm saying? He's just got a lot going on with, everything. He's throwing the ball. He's throwing spirals, kind of looking like Russell Wilson a little bit, but he threw for 266 yards. Only 1 touchdown, which I'm sure it was to it was to Marvin Harrison Jr. But again, man, you still got to give it up to James Conner and the tight end McBride. This Cardinals team is really looking good. Obviously they just played the Jets, but I believe they're on a 4-game winning streak right now. You know what I'm saying? Which, we're not even talking about the Chiefs yet, but again, that is pretty darn good. But again, they just beat the Jets 31-6. So again, this is just really speaking a lot for Kyler Murray, man. I'm really liking how he's been playing. I mean, he's been going crazy lately on the ground and with his arm. So please look out for Kyler Murray. I mean, I didn't think I would be saying this halfway through the season, but he's trying to make everybody understand, like, I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? I'm studying. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing to be labeled as a professional athlete. So, man, big ups to Kyler Murray, man. A-Rod, full play A-Rod, you might as well be full play A-Rod. You only threw for 151 yards. You can tell Devontae Adams probably wants to get traded again. Again, Garrett Wilson still had a pretty decent game, but not really. He caught 5 passes for 41 yards. Devontae Adams caught 6 passes for 31 yards. So again, man, I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers, you really probably should consider retiring now. It's just no hard feelings. The Jets already have the bad reputation that they've always had, and now you're not making it any better, man. So yeah. All right, next up, man, it's Eagle versus Cowboys game, man. Big ups to the Eagles. Again, as long as Jalen Hurts is healthy, Saquon Barkley is healthy, Devontae Smith is healthy, A.J. Brown is healthy. Goddard is pretty banged up. I don't even think he played. Yeah, he did play this game. Goddard played this game as well. But again, between the offensive line and those offensive weapons, the defense is really what keeps them in these close games, right? Their defense just shut it down. I really give it up to the defense and all. So the defense only got 1 interception, but again, they were still going crazy, man. I love how the Eagles are coming together. Of course, the tush push. You got Saquon Barkley. He did not have the best game. 14 carries for 66 yards. But still, you know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts got 2 touchdowns on the ground, running. But, hey, you still got to give it up to him, man. The Eagles overall did their thing. Cowboys. Shout out to Bubba Dub, man. He is the most hilarious dude when it comes to these Cowboys. Yeah, Cowboys, straight horrible. It's really not even much to say about that game. About the Cowboys. They're just horrible now. Like I said, the Cooper Rush or Trey Lance, they thought that it was just going to be a better outcome, without Dak Prescott. Definitely was not. Elliott was not a factor. The other running back, Dotto, was not a factor either. Man, Cowboys, they just have a lot going on, which is why they're not America's team anymore. But, between Jerry Jones trying to, whatever you want to call it, take the blame. You got the head coach. He's just it's a lot of things going on. Michael Parsons' first game back, and he's already talking bad about the head coach, and it's just a lot of key issues that are going on in that locker room or on the field, and it just seems like nobody can figure out why. This was supposed to be such a dynamic team this season, but it's the complete opposite. Like I would not be surprised if they are the number 32 team in the league. That game was horrible. 34-6. It was the most horrible game I ever seen. I promise you. I think I said that. I think I said the exact same thing the last time the Cowboys played, but no, this time, today, no, this was like the worst game. So again, big ups to the Eagles, man, for the dub. Anybody can beat the Cowboys right now. So big ups to you guys, man. All right, and last but not least, man, let's get to this Chiefs game. I know there's a few more games I could have talked about. Who cares? Like I said, the Lions are going to do what they do. Dolphins end up winning the game. It was a pretty good game, though, actually. Big ups to Tua. Big ups to those guys, man. But anyway, man, let's move on to this Chiefs game. Chiefs versus Broncos, man. We came out with the dub, man, 14-16. It was a very, very close game. If anybody watched the game, everyone's seen the blocked field goal. It was only a 35-yard field goal that the Broncos had to make in order to win the game. Unfortunately, this is why it's called special teams. These type of situations happen. And again, I mean, big ups to the Chiefs special teams. Also, big ups to the Chiefs defense, man. Those two alone kept us in the game and really kept us with the dub. I'm not going to just say like the offense didn't do their part. Mahomes missed some targets, but again, what quarterback in the history of football doesn't miss targets as well? We just gotta. This is why you have to still have faith and rely on your defense and your special teams. And again, that blocked field goal made it made the only difference of the game, man. So, especially with it being a 35-yard field goal, I know every Chiefs fan, I'm not going to say everyone, the majority of the Chiefs fans that was even watching that game, you're going to watch it till the last play. But again, I'm just glad that, Chiefs fans are going to stick with it till the end. And that's why, again, they end up winning the game, man, with that blocked field goal. So big ups to the Chiefs special teams, man. Mahomes did his thing. I mean, he went a little crazy. He threw for 266 yards and 1 touchdown. Kareem Hunt, man. Kareem Hunt was definitely a favorite in this game, even in the receiving core. He got 7 receptions for 65 yards. But even on the ground, 14 carries for 35 yards. Again, he did not score a touchdown at all, but again, he definitely played a huge factor in why you cannot count out our running backs. I believe there is starting to be rumors of Pacheco coming back next week. So again, fantasy football owners, you might want to get ready for that. We're going to see how this plays out. But again, I just like how, without Pacheco, without Hollywood, without a couple of our key players, we're still undefeated. We have not lost since Christmas of 2023. So again, this is very, very huge, y'all. I mean, if anybody understand that the Chiefs are making history right now, we are witnessing this. So this is just huge, and I'm just glad I am a part of this history. Man, just keep going strong, Chiefs Kingdom, and we will just keep going. We'll keep this ride going, man. Again, Broncos, they definitely played us. I'm not going to just count the Broncos out, man. Bo Nix is getting better every week, and for those football fans out there, we're really starting to see that, man. He threw for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns, all right? Again, very huge impact, So we're just gonna, we're gonna give the Broncos their flowers because that was a pretty difficult game. It was a shootout, a lot of back and forth. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we got what needed to count the most, and that's the dub, man. So big ups to the Chiefs, man. Chiefs Kingdom. Last but not least, man, I do want to just highlight my top 10 NFL teams right now as far as like power rankings. With number 1 being the Chiefs, not just because of their record, but mainly just because, again, whether it's the offense, defense, or special teams, everyone understands what the goal is. Everyone on that team is trying to get to the three-peat. You know what I'm saying? They understand what it's going to take, which is why, man, again, special teams, man, did their thing. Number 2, definitely going with the Lions, man. The Lions are definitely one of the more entertaining teams to watch right now. Definitely had quite a few blowouts this season, but again, overall, I mean, just a great team overall. You know what I'm saying? The Lions are definitely doing their thing. Number 3, I'm going with the Ravens. Ravens, man, again, you got Lamar, who's looking like the MVP for this season. You know, I'm a pretty tough coach. Even I can even say a tough father. But one thing I will say about the Ravens, their defense is getting better. Offense is always good. They got Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, you got Derrick Henry, a lot of good weapons. But the only way that the Ravens are going to go far is as long as as long as Lamar Jackson stays composed. As long as he keeps himself under wraps. You know what I'm saying? Because again, whenever he turns into this whining little baby, that's when the Ravens lose the game. It doesn't matter what the situation is. And shout out to Jared Goff, because again, that young man threw for 5 interceptions in week 10, and they still got the dub. I forgot to highlight that. But again, that's how you keep yourself under control. That's how you keep your mind leveled and continue to focus on winning the game. And big ups to the Detroit Lions defense too, because again, they're the ones that wanted to get that ball back to their quarterback so that we can win the game. So big ups to the Detroit Lions. I'm sorry, again, back to my rankings. Ravens are number 3. But again, Lamar's looking very, very good right now. Definitely MVP caliber. That's all I'm going to say. Number four, man, I got the Bills. The Bills are definitely my number 4 on this list. Josh Allen doing his thing. That Bills Mafia defense, they're just all over the place. But again, I just feel like as long as Josh Allen stays healthy, he's a maniac too. He's gonna run if he has to, but I just feel like that defense is gonna really keep them going. My number 5 pick, man, the Eagles. Defense is great, dynamic offense. Again, I mentioned that AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard, Saquon Barkley, Hurts. Hurts will run it in. I know we all know that by now. But again, definitely good duo, between offense and defense and special teams. But, they're definitely my number 5 pick. Number 6, I'm actually going with the Steelers. The Steelers have one of the top-ranked defenses in the league right now. But again, Mike Tomlin, they had definitely found their quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Russell Wilson is doing his thing, and I love it. I love what he has going on right now, man. So big ups to Russell Wilson. My number 7, I have the Commanders. I feel like the Commanders are going to bounce back from, these few difficult games that they had. Jaden Daniels, man, I again, with this next week coming, I just feel like he's going to just have a way better, outcome. But again, number 7, I'm going with the Commanders, man. Their defense, Jaden Daniels, you cannot count him out, man. It's crazy saying that for a rookie, but that's just what it is right now. All right. Number 8, I'm going with the Vikings. The Vikings, they're still right there in my top 10. I'm not going to count them out, but again, they definitely have some issues to figure out. You can never count out Justin Jefferson. But as long as Sam Darnold, keeps his head leveled, that defense is going to keep doing their thing. They had a shaky game, but again, they got the win, they got the dub though. So we're just going to see how they play out for the next couple weeks, man. But right now, they are my number 8 on this list. My number 9, they moved up. They definitely moved up on my top 10. I got the Cardinals. The Cardinals defense, man, they're doing their thing, stopping everybody really. But again, like I said, with Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr., you got James Conner on the ground. He's just bouncing off people and doing his thing too, rather on the ground or in the air. So They are my number 9. Now, as far as my number 10 goes, I was real in between, so I'm definitely going to give you two teams that are really right there. Now, with the Packers having that bye week, I'm going to see how they play out for this week 11. But again, it's between the Packers and the 49ers. Again, the 49ers, they just have a few weapons that are coming back. Like I said, McCaffrey just came back. But I just need to see that Purdy is that guy that is going to really keep this team together. We don't need Debo going around fighting everybody just to make everybody mad, just to win a game. But, as a captain, as a leader, if that's what you got to do, then that's what you got to do. But right now, my number 10 is between the 49ers and the Packers, man. So I'm going to see how Jordan Love plays out this week. But I'm also seeing how the 49ers play out this week as well, man. So we'll see how this week 11 goes, man. And we're just going to keep it rocking that way, man. That's my top 10.
Hey, that's just how I feel. Yeah, that's just how I feel. Hey.
All right. Well, let's get into the reaction video for today. All right.
Small children. The language is pretty steep.
Respectfully?
Yes.
Respectfully? I don't know what I said, but mind your business. Respectfully. And I'm going to get to my son. So if you got small children, understand a little with my son.
I'm minding my business.
No, you're not. You spoke to me. So mind your business. I ain't speak to you. Mind your business.
You want to step outside?
We can go right now. Where you want to go? Talk about it. You asked.
Let's talk about it.
Remember you asked. I didn't say that. He asked, right? Okay. He asked me. And you told me to calm down, but you asked me, right?
Small children.
All right, man. The guy in the red is definitely not wrong for this. Like I said, man, I get how, sometimes, as parents, and this is one of the topics in this episode, certain things parents might not understand or might not know, but who knows what that conversation was actually about. I wish I could have heard that conversation, but, of course, this is just a short video. But again, man, this is a good example of why certain people just need to just mind their business, man. Like, I get it. If the guy in the black shirt, he's probably a nice and caring father, but honestly, the guy in the red is probably a nice and caring father as well. But everyone parents different. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't cuss. I don't really have to do all of that to my kids. But again, it's just for the simple fact that we don't have like a full understanding of the whole video, the whole conversation. But at the end of the day, man, you gotta learn how to mind your business, stay in your place. And again, why would this dude even say you want to step outside? It's like, did he think he was going back down or something? Man, he took off his I thought that was crazy too. He took off his gloves respectfully, but then he has boxing gloves around his neck. Like, I feel like once he's seen those boxing gloves, he realized that he did not want no smoke with this dude. But I just feel like at the end of the day, man, as an adult, as a parent, whatever you want to call it, I can understand if this man was like smacking up his son when he was sitting right there, but he was on the phone with his son. Why are you in his conversation? Why are you in his business? So again, that's why I say I'm with the guy in the red, and I feel like most people are too. Man, stay in your place. Stay in your place, man, because it can get real. Especially, shout out to the mothers and daughters out there, but especially when it comes to a father and his son. That is something I don't care. That is just something you don't play around with at the end of the day. So again, man, shout out to that guy. Now, yes, it was starting to be a little more immature, in a sense, because the guy is saying you want to go outside. fool, y'all are at an airport. You know what I'm saying? The Frontier airline. But at the end of the day, y'all are at an airport. So it doesn't matter where y'all fight, inside or out. Y'all are both going to get arrested, probably banned from the airport, banned from even flying for who knows how long. So again, man, just definitely make smarter decisions. But again, we cannot count out, that situation, because again, we don't know what that guy is going through with his son. And for the guy, for that guy in the black shirt to just say something to him, you don't know him or anything, man. You gotta learn how to stay in your place, man. So, big ups to the guy in the red, man. He's defending himself. He's defending his parenting. He's defending his word, you know what I'm saying? And again, he was not bothering anybody. I get if he was talking out loud or whatever the case may be. But again, man, listen, if I was sitting at the airport and I heard this man cussing his son out, yelling at his son, threatening his son, man, that is not my issue, okay? I have my own kids, my own family that I'm trying to get home to. And any real parent, let's just call it what it is, any real parent, you're going to learn a lot of lessons from something like that. If you're being disrespectful to your kid and you hear another parent being disrespectful to their kids, then you're instantly going to be like, dang, is that how I am with my children? Yeah. So, again, I know I can do better as a parent. Everyone can do better as a parent, but cussing kids out, yelling, that's just not really my style. But again, I can understand, sometimes you have to be more firm and more, your volume has to go up a little bit sometimes for kids. Come on now. So again, man, shout out to the guy in the red. I'm glad they didn't go outside the fight because they both would have been in handcuffs. But again, for the guy in the black shirt to actually just say that out loud and then just sit there, again, I think he thought twice once he seen those boxing gloves. Hey, I would have thought twice too, man. But, shout out to the boxers out there, boxer dads, boxer moms, and whoever. But definitely don't lose your license. Definitely don't get a lawsuit for using those lethal hands, man. Always make the smart decisions, especially when you're at an airport. Like, what are we doing? All right, man. So that's all I got to say about the reaction video. Y'all comment. I know it was a short clip, but comment. Let me know what you guys would do in this situation if someone just kind of cut in your conversations on the phone with your child. Comment on what you would do, comment on what you would say, or, come on, keep it real. Would you just ignore that person? Would you just let it be? Because again, some people are not even realizing that they're at an airport. So that's how you know that young man in the red hoodie, his blood is already boiling. You know what I'm saying? He's already on that level. So again, man, big ups to them for not, keeping the peace. I'm sure that flight had a lot of hostility, but that would be crazy if they sat right next to each other as well. But I doubt that. But anyway, man, that's the reaction video, y'all. Comment. Let me know what y'all think about this. All right, well, this concludes today's episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And again, tell your friends about us too, y'all. This week's song of the week is called Growth by Payroll Giovanni and E40, man. Tune in and we'll see you all at the next one. Until next time.
From my mama crib to a mansion, that's growth. From a rubber band to a paddock, that's growth. Was fucked up, nah, nigga rich, that's growth. From street, nah, everything legit, that's growth. That's growth, that's growth. Gotta change shit if a nigga broke. That's growth, that's growth. Had to take a whole different approach. First investment,